Hello and welcome to Winging It. I'm Erica Perl. I'm a children's book author, and every week, Tuesday at 2 Eastern Standard Time, I host Winging It, and I read from my books and share activities for those of you at home looking for something to do and looking to have some fun with books. So today, we're going to do just that. We are going to focus on my book, King of the Zoo. I'm going to take it off the shelf, and we're going to look at it together. This is a story that I wrote, and it is illustrated by Jackie Urbanovic, who is actually a friend of mine. And Jackie and I, when we were working on this book, we were both living in the Washington, D.C. area, and we were able to go to the National Zoo together. So one of the cool things about this book that not everyone knows is that it is based on an actual chameleon at the National Zoo, and it also has some of the architecture of the National Zoo in the book. So, we're going to read King of the Zoo together, and we're going to have the opportunity to become some of the animals in the book. Sort of a fun, interactive book that way. The other thing about this book that's a lot of fun is that Carlos the chameleon, who you see on the cover, who's the star of this book, Carlos has a lot of feelings. And I'm guessing that you guys have a lot of feelings too, big feelings, much bigger than a tiny little chameleon. And so, maybe when we get to that part in the book, you can help me show what those feelings look like. Because Carlos, when he feels things, he turns different colors. As people, it's harder for us because we don't turn different colors, but we have other ways of showing our feelings with our faces and with our expressions. So, let's take a look and find out what happens in King of the Zoo. King of the Zoo by Erica S. Perl, illustrated by Jackie Urbanovic, and published by Scholastic Books. So as you can see, when we open up this beautiful book, we see that a grandma and a granddaughter are on their way to the zoo. King of the Zoo is the title of the book. And when they get inside, the first thing they find, and this is true at the National Zoo, is there's a map that shows where all the different animals live. So you see this page is sort of like a zoo map with all sorts of animals. Who do you see? We've got elephant and kangaroo. We've got giraffes over here and a hippo. And the story goes, they say the lion is king of the zoo. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I'm going to start over. They say the lion is king of the jungle. That's right, king of the jungle. But who is king of the zoo? Who could it be? Do you think it's still the lion? Could it be the tiger? So many animals to choose from. Who could possibly be king of the zoo? And then we meet Carlos and his little friends, these little anoles, which is a kind of lizard. They say, Carlos, that's who! Carlos is king of the zoo. There was no one cooler or cleverer or charminger than Carlos. Or so he thought. As you can see, Carlos is taking a little stroll. He's leaving his enclosure and setting out to take a tour of the zoo with his friends. So as they're walking around, his friend sees a sign and tugs on his tail. And his friend says, Carlos, Carlos, look, the king of the zoo. And Carlos says, I know, But then he sees the sign. Does that sign say Carlos, king of the zoo? Does that sign even say chameleon, king of the zoo? I don't think so. I think there's a very different animal. And Carlos says, hey, the kangaroo. How come kangaroo is king of the zoo? That is very upsetting to Carlos. So Carlos was hopping mad. Now, when you get mad, do you ever get hopping mad? Can you show me what that looks like? I'm going to see some hopping. Up and down, hopping mad. Can everybody at home just do some quick hopping? Hopping mad, hopping mad, hopping mad. Yeah, that's what Carlos was doing. He's hopping up and down, and he's saying, the king of the zoo is me, that's who. Can you guys say that with me? The king of the zoo is me, that's who. And as you can see, Carlos is kind of turning into a kangaroo-colored chameleon. He's so mad, and he blends right in. But then, okay, no more hopping. Things got even worse. Carlos scratched his head in disbelief. Now, can you guys scratch like monkeys? Let's try that. Put that right here. There we go. Everyone do a little scritchy, scritchy, scritch. A little scritchy, scritchy, scritch. Ooh, 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 like that. And Carlos says, not again. The monkey too. And then he says to the monkey, the king of the zoo is me. That's who. So I'm going to show you what I like to do when I read this book, and we can do it all together. Every time that Carlos says that, we're going to go like this. We're going to cross our hands, and we're going to say, not again. Can you guys say that with me? Not again. And then we say, the monkey too. You guys say it. The monkey too. And then we say, the king of the zoo. We're going to put on a crown. The king of the zoo is me. That's who. Okay, try it with me each time it happens, because it's going to happen again. Poor Carlos. So from the monkeys, he wanders on, and he sees that things have gotten even worse. Oh no, another sign. This time it's Elephant King of the Zoo. Carlos stomped his foot in frustration. Can you give me a frustrated stomp? Really frustrated? And Carlos says he's using the elephant's trunk as a microphone. Not again. So we say, not again. The elephant too? The king of the zoo is me. That's who. That's what Carlos says. He's so mad. He wants to be the one and only king of the zoo. And no one is listening to little Carlos. And then things got even worse. Carlos growled unhappily. Look at him. And look how he's changing. What colors is he getting there? Is he looking like another animal? Carlos says, not again. Tiger, king of the zoo. The tiger too. Can we do that together? Let's put it here. Not again. The tiger too? The king of the zoo is me. That's who. That's what Carlos says. He's hanging upside down to try and tell the tiger. Isn't that a beautiful tiger? Jackie did such a beautiful job on these illustrations. And then, you think there's another animal? Oh, a very tall one. Things got even worse. Carlos stretched his neck up stubbornly. Can you guys do that? Stretch tall like a giraffe. Nice and tall. And Carlos, standing on his friend, says, not again. The giraffe too? The king of the zoo is me. That's who. He says it right there, and he has giraffe spots at this point. Well, this is getting very difficult. And then things sank to a new low. What kind of animal is that? Carlos says, not again. The hippo too? Can you guys get low, low like a hippo? Get low, low, low. Let's see how low we can go. The king of the zoo is me. That's who, says Carlos. Good job. And then he says, who else is king? The pygmy shrew? This little guy? Uh-oh. And his friend says, yup. Pygmy shrew, king of the zoo. Every single animal is getting the special treatment. This had to stop. There was only room for one king. And that king is me. Me. That's who, says Carlos. Well, Carlos paced, green with envy. Why did there have to be other kings of the zoo? Can you show me what a jealous face looks like? Make a face of what you look like when you're feeling jealous that someone has something that you wish you had. That kind of, yeah, good jealous face. That's what Carlos is feeling there. Carlos saw red. It just wasn't fair. So now he's moved on and he's feeling angry. Can you show me an angry face? A really, I'm so angry. Yeah, like Carlos, so frustrated it just wasn't fair. He was the best king. Carlos basked in a purple glow. Can you show me a proud face? Show me what it looks like when you feel really proud, like Carlos does right there. I did a good job. He thinks I'm the best king. But purple gave way to blue. Was he still the best king? Oh, he's feeling sad. Can you show me a sad face? A very sad face. Was he still the best king, or had he gotten a little rusty? Oh, he's feeling really bad. Carlos went yellow with fear. Can you show me a scared face? Maybe he wasn't even a king anymore. Maybe no one had even told him. Poor Carlos, he's so scared. And then we see the little girl from the beginning of the book. And she says, Grandma, check it out. He's my favorite. Carlos blinked. And Grandma says, check what out? I don't see any. Because look at what color Carlos is. He's blending in with the blanket with the branch right there. He's blending in because he's all camouflaged. And Grandma can't even see him. Carlos's friends are down here. They're giggling. And the little girl says, right there, doesn't he rule? Carlos blushed. Someone knew he ruled. Just one single solitary person. But the funny thing was, it felt like an entire kingdom. Look at Carlos all rainbow colored. He looks so happy there. And Carlos says to his friends, who's still got it? Carlos, that's who, they say. And the little girl shows her grandma that she got a picture of Carlos. And she says, see? And Grandma says, well, I'll be. Because she's right. There he is, Carlos, the king of the zoo. You guys, you did such a good job becoming all different kinds of animals. Tigers, giraffes, monkeys, elephants, hippos, and chameleons like Carlos. Chameleons who can feel all sorts of different things and express themselves in all different ways. Great job. So thank you for reading King of the Zoo with me today. That brings us to the end of another episode of Winging It. I will be back next Tuesday at 2 to read another book with you. So until then, I'm going to encourage you to read and to write and to draw and to dream and to wash your wings. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much, you guys. Bye-bye.